the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro.
Honestly, bro.
In the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like, Chase? How dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually.
Yes, actually.
Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man. And I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
and
gay.
Ellen can shut the fuck up, actually. She's right. I mean, that's really hateful, bro.
That's really hateful, bro.
Would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me. It's true.
And then I went down further saying, because if a straight man hooks up with Blair White, that was supposed to be gay. But if a straight man hooks up with Elliot Page, that's supposed to be straight because Elliot Page is a biological woman, right? But to Kiko's point, neither, because it would be pansexual. However, we can also say it's gay, because gay, colloquially, can be used as an umbrella term to include women, aka gays against groomers. Gays in that concept, gays against groomers, includes all these people, right? It's all encompassing. What's up, guys? So I'm coming to you a new video. Yeah, new intro, who this, right? And so today we're going over the Whatever podcast, a guilty pleasure of mine because they recently got viral over some videos with Chase, who goes by Sovereign Bra on Twitter. And so we're gonna take a look, dive into why is this viral? Why is this like a guilty pleasure of mine? But first, of course, if you're new to his channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch, Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, the call sign Don, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So current events, reviews, pop culture, social political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe as it feeds the algorithm. So with that said, let's get into this. Alright, so getting into this, like I said, we're gonna look into the Whatever podcast, looking into Sovereign Bra, Chase, that was featured twice on that. He's been on multiple times, so I'm pretty sure he's good friends with Brian, who's the main person on the Whatever podcast, right? And so what I want to get into, like, why is this viral? Why is this a guilty pleasure of mine? And a portion of it is the conversations, right? And so it's interesting to learn whatever people are saying. And I think a portion of it is whatever, especially when it comes to these videos, this is like normal stuff people would say 5 years ago. And for people to be so blown away about it, just speaks to like how far the Overton window has shifted, right? For people to walk out of this situation. Yes, I know I've seen the whole podcast. They've been doing it for like 4 hours, and Keeko wanted to leave. She was late for work and all that stuff. But that's the thing, though. If this was something that you were actually passionate about, you would stay the whole hour. You would probably just call in sick for work, right? But I think there's this idea in which other people have mentioned this, you know, like these people can't, you say these platitudes, but you're not in a situation where you actually talk about it and you can defend your situation, right? And so we'll take a look at it because Keeko came back on the show and kind of like talked about all this, why it's viral and all this stuff, and kind of like defended her stance. But what I want to do, again, take a look at the original videos and have some discussions about it, because I got some stuff to say. So let's take a look at it real quick.
And said, Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro.
Honestly, bro.
In the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like, Chase? How dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually.
Yes, actually.
Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
and
gay.
Ellen can shut the fuck up, actually. She's right. I mean, that's really hateful, bro.
That's really hateful, bro.
Would technically be homosexual. A trans woman is a biological man. Sue me. It's true. You know what God said? It said He made the man and women. He made the man and woman. I just told you I'm not gay. I'll pass on that. Thanks, though. Who knew that stating biological facts would make people walk out the show?
Again, this is so great. Like, again, it's like the most normal take ever. And then, again, going into this, it is just like, people are going outraged, and again, Keeko was late for work. She was done. She was tired. It was late. You know, she was ready to leave. But like I said in the beginning, it's more so because they couldn't defend their stances, right? And I agree with Chase 100%. But I will give a little bit charity to Keeko, right? So in the video where Keeko returns, I put in the comment section a little bit to give her a little bit more charity, right? And so something that I put down is Team Sovereign Bra, right? I like to offer a compromise to Keeko's because I initially agree with Chase that a straight male hooking up with a trans woman is technically gay, but again, here's a compromise in the spirit of seeking truth and clearing up, defining our stances, right? So male plus female, right, but we're talking about biology here, right? Male plus female equals straight, right? Male plus male equals gay. Female plus female equals lesbian. Female plus trans male, aka trans woman, is I put as pansexual. I define as pansexual, which it is, right? Female plus trans male, aka trans man, equals pansexual. And then I put down below that pansexual being a sexuality outside of the straight, gay, lesbian trichotomy, right? And then I went down further saying, because if a straight man hooks up with Blair White, that was supposed to be gay, but if a straight man hooks up with Elliot Page, that's supposed to be straight because Elliot Page is a biological woman, right? But to Keiko's point, neither, because it would be pansexual. However, we can also say it's gay, because gay, colloquially, can be used as an umbrella term to include women, aka gays against groomers. Gays in that concept, gays against groomers, includes all these people, right? It's all encompassing. So Chase is not necessarily wrong, but not specific, right? And so this back and forth is just a conversation about not using using maybe non-specific terms, right? And understanding words differently. And this is why the left-right dynamic also differs, because if I say something woke, I would possibly use it in a pejorative, right? And versus someone on the left that may be using it as a positive, as social justice, and as a progressive ideology, right? But I use it as a pejorative, right? So again, it's just a matter of using our words differently than other people may have an understanding. And going into that point, I kind of want to look into the second video that, you know, Chase has pinned on, because again, it talks about what I'm saying as far as people not understanding what the other person's talking about, right? And so let's take a look at that real quick.
If I find a girl that I want to make my wife, and I find her super attractive,
Okay.
yeah, because that's
make her wife.
I would ask her to marry me and then make her my wife. You say you are a feminist. You're that is feminist. You look. You heard me say that.
Oh,
you
I
heard.
make her my wife.
Yeah, because that's what I would do.
I'm an equal human, a woman.
Well,
It's not about
you say
wanting
that.
to make her your wife.
Obviously, she would want to be
She
my wife.
She has her own life. She wants to be your wife too.
Yeah, of course, but she's not
going
gonna.
She wants to go to the club. She wants to do her makeup.
No, she's not gonna want to go to clubs. She's not gonna want to go to clubs. No,
she does.
Because here's the thing. That's a non-negotiable for me in marriage.
Okay, well
if I find a woman, if there's plenty of women out there that don't want to go to clubs all the time.
Okay, well.
There's plenty of women out there that
She's having such a problem with it.
Dresses and get hit on by guys all the time.
Right. Okay, so, let's pause this at the right moment, right? And so, here we have a situation, if I can understand what Chase is trying to convey, and then listen into her woke mentality, woke code, right? And all this stuff, this Handmaid's Tale feminist that she's going into. Okay, so, for Chase, right? One, this is no different, right? This is no different than a homegirl saying, "Ooh, that's baby daddy right there. I'm gonna make them my hubby." You know, how's that different than like a dude saying like, "Oh, that's wifey. That's future wifey." You know, that's no different. Like, so him in his mind, and he says it right. His Chase in his mind says like, "I'm gonna make that wife." And again, she's taking it as the most aggressive, extreme version. Yes, he's being very assertive, right? And I'll make that person my wife, right? This woman, my wife, which is predicated that this relationship is mutual, right? This relationship is like that she feels the same way, like it's reciprocal, right? Like this isn't about forcing women. This isn't about like subjugation, which her mind goes to, right? Because she then goes talking about, oh, she's going to the club, and then he later first like, well, she's not going to the club as much as I'm not going to the club, hitting on women and all that stuff, right? And so. For him, like to say like I'm gonna make this person my wife, again, it's pretty predicated, and he says it like that mutual it is a mutual reciprocated relationship. It's a relationship, a marriage. It's two, right? And then her brain haywires, right? Because she goes like, oh, it's a Handmaid's Tale. Here's this Handmaid's Tale. Like he's gonna be forcing her into this like subjugation, like. And then he goes into clarification. Like this is what, like, again, no surprise, people are in different worlds and understanding things differently, right? And so in her mind, she is going into the most extreme version. And this is why, I think this is why this podcast is so alluring. Because one, people are just like triggered after the smallest things, and they can't, I get it. People are not on podcasts all the time. People are not talking about these situations and all the times and in such a like such a live version, you know, like you may have these conversations with your friends here and there, but not necessarily with a stranger per se, right? And not someone who's coming at you or defending and all that stuff. And so it's in the debate form, right? So people are not accustomed to that, right? Not like even myself who does this, right? If it's challenging as someone who talks about it all the time, imagine someone who doesn't, right? So again, in her mind, she doesn't understand what he's trying to convey, because she's just, one, focused on the feminist aspect of like, oh, you're just gonna make her your wife, as if she has no choice in all this. Okay, so lastly, I kind of want to touch upon when Kiko returns and a little bit conversation. We're not going to go through all of it, but again, I thought it was pretty enlightening, right?
In this podcast, this whole time,
well, we'll bring
me and Chase's conversation.
We'll bring Chase back on, and
I've already told you I'll be willing to go back on with Chase.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Just really quick though, we got in the weeds a little there. I just want to wrap on this whole dating thing really quick and just kind of.
Okay. Also, I watched this live, which was like pretty recent, and it was crazy because like. He put like, yo, Brian made the most like largest portion of the live stream at the end, like when people were tired. It's like 3 hours into this, and he made the most like hot topic situation at the end of the podcast, and people already were fed up. So not a good idea, right?
But well, end the conversation here shortly. So.
Speak about it. That's what everyone's been waiting about in this podcast this whole time.
Well, we'll bring my view on this. Is I don't view this, and I think a lot of people don't view it this way too. We're not looking at gender. We look at sex. And if two males engage in sex, that is by definition and by fact, it is gay. It is homosexual. I'm not making a judgment call on that, but it is biology.
She's so mad. I love it.
You can look at it from the biological standpoint for sure, but the argument is coming from people who view biology and gender as two different things, which a lot of people do. So if you want to perceive it that way, that's fine. You don't have to have sex with a trans woman. But if people perceive it that way, they are not being forced to, and that they're completely entitled to that opinion as well.
Go ahead, Kiko, and then we'll...
So you would find it... I'm not putting my opinions at all. You would find it gayer for a man to have sex with a transgender woman than a masculine presenting like lesbian woman. You would think that they're more gay for sleeping with the transgender woman than the...
So this is kind of cool. I mean, this questioning, and she didn't think about this further. And of course, you're doing this live. You don't think about it. I would have done, and again, I answered this in the beginning of the video. Would it be gay if if a straight guy dating a trans woman is gay? Would then a straight man dating a trans male, right, or trans man, which is biological female, I have to think about it, would that they be straight? Because he would technically, on a biological level, be having relations with a biological woman. And so that would also be gay on a social standpoint, right? And so in this case, like I said in the beginning, when we define things, and like one, maybe if you want to be specific, it's pansexual, but two, like you can use gay, again, as an umbrella term, as in, like, again, gays against groomers, right? Gays against groomers is not just guys, you know, it incorporates lesbians, bisexuals, trans persons, and all that stuff into gays against groomers as an umbrella term. Okay, I'll just leave it there. again, whatever podcast, super awesome. I'm glad they're doing. I'm glad that they're doing what they're doing. They're in Santa Barbara, doing awesome. Amalali, it's going to go on there. Looking forward to that. And so I'm going to still take a look into all of this. Be sure to follow Chase Sovereign Bra on Twitter. And then again, follow me. If you enjoyed this video, if you hung out this far, hit that subscribe. If you like this video, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and see you in the next video. You can follow me on my Instagram at HeyMitchMitch. I'm also on Twitter, Maverick Mitch, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.